Well, hey, good morning, hey, and good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. As you can see, we're looking at the credit roll, and what's really interesting is that there is a brand new credit theater that's in the new area. I've been told to stay away from it, but it's incredible. There's a whole new area. You can see that there's you've seen this if you've gone in the credit. You can see there's scripting, there's art, there's level design. The way that they've added the credits now are really impressive, and I was hoping against hope that at some point they'll say, yeah, go ahead, you can show it. So, but right now it's not, so I'm in your area of your credit, so you can go ahead and see that. But you can see Celesteria is in there doing some art, additional building. What's really nice though, there's a name Alta, same person, and they are an additional developer. And they're doing some incredible stuff that I can show one of them, but there's a whole bunch, and it's kind of neat. You can see there's Soxa Observatory. You've got special anti-things. That was kind of cute what they're doing. And of course the developer creatures. And there's Terra. If you look to the end, you'll see Terra again. So just give you a heads up on that. And anyways, also I wanted to kind of share with you, if you're not in Discord, this is Polyax going in and moving around and is showing this thing with this bubble, and it's really, really incredible. So of course I had to go and say, well, I have to go and see it, and I've got to do it. So again, I went ahead and came in, but again, I let that. I just kind of like, I can still move around and stuff, but again, it's not as finesse as there. Anyways, here we are. We're back over to What's It Woods, and I wanted to share you some things. Some people just don't see some of the back stuff that's going on, and what I'm trying to share with you is there's Gizmos, there's the pets. Those haven't been shown yet. They keep those away, so I don't even have to. There's things that they have that they take away from that's where I'm doing, so I don't have to like go crazy trying to get around things. But again, this is really kind of neat. You can see that you kind of go in and then you can kind of go through, and here, at least so far, this is what's going in there. I'll go back in there and you can see that I'm going to be showing you, it's going to be Lala Dog, and you can see that the Lala Dog stuff, you can do the same thing. You can have little stickers going about. That's something that you'll be able to buy or trade or whatever for those stars. We also have ThingDex. There's a whole bunch. Like if you look a couple of weeks ago, you'll actually see that. That's another thing that you'll be able to buy with your stars, that you're going to be able to put on your ThingDex, and you're going to be able to buy the emblems and skins, and there is an awful lot that you have. This is just showing it. I've been asked not to show the stuff that is locked out. Don't show it, because they do say some things that they don't want you to see. At the same time, I just want to make sure that I do what they ask me to do, and I do it. So that's okay. Anyway, so that's what's going on in this area. So I just wanted to kind of share you that. Anyways, again, my favorite place, What's It Woods. There are so many machines. I wanted one time to say, okay, I'm going to show every machine that's around except for the one that are in, ThingDex right now. And I think they're in Spawn and some other places. So it's just unbelievable, all this stuff. Now, the thing that I really like about this thing is when I'm in the old one, you can't move around as much as you can in this. You almost got the peach, if I did, I could do that. And I thought over here I can go, oh yeah, I can go up there and almost do it, and just so close. I'm sure if I did a push and a shove and a whatever, I would be able to do that. But I thought, oh well, I'll just go over here and I'll do it that way. So anyways, what's really neat is you can see down here, you can see how dark that tunnel is. And some other things you can't really see that tunnel like that, and it's kind of interesting. You can see that goes outside. Now if you look over here, I wanted to stay here for a second. You can see it kind of like reverberates, like there's something going on, like a flash. It's kind of neat. But on those little stars, they actually are totally different in the way that they're doing, and they were. The thing is that this is the testing one, and they test and they pull and they test and they do things. So one day you'll come in and it will do one thing, and then boom, it will be gone, and then you go in. So there is something going on. They're really making that really beautiful, those little circles. Of course, they changed that to Musty Mine. You can see that. And also, as you can see, there is Mount Doodad, okay? So it's kind of a thing on, in this game, I am the designated dad of the game. There's a little bit of a story behind that, but again, the Gnomer calls me dad. At the same time, it's like everybody feels like I kind of like being like the mentor and kind of that type of thing. So anyways, long story of why I'm called that, but that's okay. I mean, other than Gnomer, the dad, but there's a backstory behind that. Anyways, so as you can see, it's so much easier. You can go all the way across, no muss, no fuss. It's just unbelievable. This, I'm not sure, but I believe that tunnel is going to go to Paw Bean Park, and that's kind of how you're going to be getting in here. Again, it's not there yet. And it's incredible. I had somebody on Discord that says, "Man, I don't like having to have to go through these things, and it's just like it's not like it was before of not having the tunnels." Well, actually, there is a part that is unbelievable. I've been asked not to show it again, but what I'm trying to say is that the transition is very, very neat. Again, I went in here because I wanted to show you this was drawn by Gnomer, and all of the words that were spoken by this NPC, which goes on forever, was all done by Gnomer. So again, that's kind of a neat thing on there. Of course, there is these machines. I can't wait for them to be working and see what they are. As you can see, I have 37 stars, so I'm going to have a field day and getting whatever I want. Anyways, but again, it's just one of those things. You can see that this really is I just wanted to kind of go over. We're going to go over to Yippee City. There's a couple of things we're going to be going over in here for. Again, they've made some little bit of changes again, and I just wanted to kind of go over with. What I'm trying to say is when you go in, you go, oh my goodness, I'm showing the same thing, same old. And there is some truth to that, obviously, but they have changed it. Let's go back in here and we'll see. And what I'm basically saying is that you can see going in, we can see that character. And you can see that character probably can fit right in there. And maybe sometime, maybe I can try it and see what's going on there. But again, they took the ball out. And so maybe the ball will go back in. But that's what I'm trying to say is there's always improvements going on all the time. So again, I'm going to show you some other things that have been changed. And so I'm just going to be, is going to be coming up here. And they're little tiny little changes. But again, you know that the developers, if you're sitting there going, man, why aren't the developers doing anything? Well, they are. They are definitely doing things, okay? They are doing an awful lot. You can see how easily you can move around. Of course, I don't. I'm, like 2 left feet. But again, it's just really neat. Now, they've changed this. Go in here. It used to spin. You're not spinning at all. I'm do that a couple of times. You can kind of see how that works. So again, that's just one of those things. Also, they've moved one of the tubes, and that's kind of a neat thing. And I'm going to be trying to get back to it. And again, you can see that you are completely that way. And so anyway, but we'll come back to it. We're going to come back to Yippee City because there's a couple more new things that they've done, but I kind of wanted to share with you. Bluehoo Beach, okay? Now, the problem is you're coming in, you're going, goodness gracious, I see the same old, okay? There are 4 new things in Bluehoo Beach, okay? 4, okay? And every one of them I can't show you, okay? So if you go in and you say, well, it's like nothing's changed. Yes, there has been. Bluehoo Beach has 4. That's one of them. That's 1. Back there, 2, okay? There's another one, there's a 3, and then there's a 4. So maybe sometime that they'll say, okay, we'll let you do it, we'll let you see it, but right now I'm not doing it. Paw Bean Park, we're going in there. Again, Terra is an integral part of this. Right around this corner, you can see that Terra has a part where she goes underneath the couch and she gets these little things, and that's actually something you get for an item. Of course, there's this, and I wanted to kind of share you with, again, this is a lot longer one, but you can see that you go in right like that. I mean, that's what the way you're going to be doing it from that point on. So again, some really neat, incredible stuff that we're going, okay? So again, I just wanted to kind of, go in. We're going to go over, that's right, a Yummy Yum Yard. Again, there's some new stuff that's going on in here. Again, I love these tips that are going on. I love Yummy Yum Yard. There's so many things that they're adding. You can go in, you can see the skyline. That's just unbelievable. Your skyline's nothing like that. And if you look, you'll see that that's true, that your skylines are not that way. Of course, there's the machine here, and for shopping. Don't know when that's going to happen. And but again, what I wanted to share with you today is that they are doing things like fine-tuning stuff and doing things. Now again, a lot of times they won't put it to the testers. They'll keep it into developers. So there might be more, and I know there is, that you're not going to be. You can see how you go up and then you kind of come back down really slow. You can see that, and it comes in. Now this one needs to come in. I'll have to talk with him about that, because it usually comes down a little bit more on that, but maybe they're changing it. I don't know, but I'll ask them. And then of course you can go in here, and of course you can see how much easier everything is. I can't, as I said, I'm not the best. I'm getting better. I'm doing the best job I could possibly do. But you can see over here that they've changed this tube, and again, I'll come over and we'll get to it. I just know that I will, because that's the way I am. But they've changed that tube. Excuse me. So what's going to happen is that it will go in, and let's go in, and we'll get there. I know it there. I have to hit that, That's one of the most favorite things you're going to have, are hitting those boxes. And actually, to get something, you have to hit 25 of them, I think, to get there. There we go. And of course, we have this. And again, if you go back, you can go hit that and then just kind of go over. Again, you hit again, straight. And of course, you got that beautiful creature there. Anyways, just really neat. What I love about this is in most games, if you go down that far, you have to get your life back. And these, you can go as far as you want, go down as far as you want, and it doesn't hurt you, which is one of the nicest things you can kind of do. We're back to the construction zone. The construction zone, there's some new things around. You can see up there, they used to have things, and they had a carpet going down, and they don't. But there's some new stuff. Okay, here we are. Terra, that's Terra. She's just enjoying herself wonderfully. And again, I am just ecstatic. This is what Terra, the thing in the front, was all about. She's sleeping away, but then she goes, you know what? I know you are looking at me. You're bothering me. And then she saw something and goes, okay, I want to go get it. So anyways, just wanted to share with you this. All right, take care. Bye.